She calls it a computer.
Guys, are we ready?
What that is.
Where's Sebastian?
Oh, please tell me you're recording that.
Okay, very funny.
Let's begin with the obvious question. Who thought breaking into Greenhouse 5 was a good idea?
That would be me, and in my defense, it was a good idea. The execution, however, may have been debatable.
Hold on. Let me see if I've got this straight. You broke into Greenhouse 5. You disturbed an experimental hybrid pufferpod, and then it sneezed ominous into the ceiling.
To be fair, Professor, I was already mid-air when it sneezed.
The levitation was my idea as well, actually. But the impact, not so much.
Oh my god. Mr. Sallow, you cannot, I repeat, you cannot outfly a plant.
He also tried to negotiate with it, Professor. Said, and I quote, "Back down or be potted."
It looked like it had diplomatic potential. Those leaves were raised like hands.
And what were you doing, Mr. Gaunt?
Trying not to die, mostly. I told them we shouldn't go in. But of course, when has the voice of reason ever prevailed around here?
Right. And you, Henry? Why did you follow them?
I thought the door was unlocked. Well, it was unlocked, technically. And then Sebastian said it'd be a quick recon mission. And Poppy brought snacks, so I figured, how bad could it be?
I thought it sounded like a nice field trip. I even packed sandwiches. I have some left over if you'd like.
Miss Sweeting, and what exactly were you doing with a moon calf in my greenhouse?
I thought he might sniff out danger. His name's Marshmallow. He got into the fertilizer bag. Isn't that clever?
Maybe not clever, but definitely cute.
There he is. He's so...
Miss Sweeting, he's still glowing.
Oh? Oh. That's just how he says hello.
They poked the pod, they broke the rules.
Oh my goodness.
And now they're sitting here like fools.
That is enough, Peeves.
Detention calls, oh, what a bore. I hope they like the dungeon floor.
Peeves!
See, Peeves agrees with us. The plant had it coming.
You're taking the side of a poltergeist.
Even a Squibs one sparks once in a while, ominous.
And a spark's not a spell, no matter how hard they wish it was.
Boys, please. Let me see if I can make sense of this. So, you, 4 unsupervised students, illegally entered a restricted greenhouse, awoke a sentient hybrid pufferpod, fed it sugar quills.
Just one.
And we didn't feed it. It took it out of my hand. It chose me.
It chose to take one sugar quill, which then sneezed violently enough to blow out the stained glass windows and send Mr. Gaunt into the air like a cork.
Again, I was already in the air, miss. Cheers to clever clogs over here.
Marshmallow shielded me, though. He's a hero of that sort.
He did rather well, considering the circumstances. Usually they're so jumpy.
Oh, goodness gracious. I should have retired after the Puffskin explosion of '89.
A little Henry, brave and bold, got a pad and lost control.
That is not what happened.
You did name it, out loud. Sir Sneezesworth, I remember vividly.
Peeves, you get out of these walls this instant or so. Help me.
Ooh, garlic's fuming. She's so hot. No fun left thanks to you lot.
It was a working title.
And then you tried to pet it.
I thought it was leaning in for a hug.
It certainly looked like it. I don't blame you.
Thank you, Poppy. At least one of you is understanding.
Of course she's understanding, you nit. She's in your house.
And in other things.
In other things...
No, he didn't. He didn't mean that.
I'm still having trouble figuring out why any of you were levitating during the incident.
Ah, yes. So, in theory, I assumed that a pufferpod wouldn't attack someone it viewed as a superior. Being taller, floating, I thought we could somehow assert magical dominance.
You thought the plant would respect your height advantage?
I said in theory.
When him doing dramatic arm gestures and shouting, "I am the apex wizard," wasn't enough. He decided to bring me up into the air. which I did not consent to, by the way.
That's when it sneezed so hard he flew backwards into a vine chandelier, which caught fire.
You started a fire?
Henry.
Master Henry, she didn't know about the fire.
Oh, leave him alone. She would have found out anyway.
And the vine chandelier. That would be the decorative devour leaf I've spent 3 years cultivating, correct?
It actually looked, quite beautiful in flames, Professor. Like festive fire petals.
Festive fire petals.
Pardon me, Professor, but I just had a quick question.
Yes, what is it, Ominous?
Are we going to Azkaban?
Please. At worst, we'll get to detention.
Detention is the worst it gets, especially with you around. What kind of harebrained idea was asserting dominance over a plant?
That just means it recognized power.
It sneezed me into a wall, you absolute walnut, and tried to eat your boot.
Well, it's still a more active plan than your contribution, which I believe was standing in the corner muttering about how we were all going to die.
Well, was I wrong? It started a fire, Sebastian.
Well, actually, none of us died. Henry only briefly passed out. You're all right, aren't you, lad?
I saw the astral plane. It smelled like compost.
Students, please. Mr. Gaunt, you were found tangled in 3 vines. Now, I know why you were covered in pufferpod pollen, but you were also muttering in parcel tongue. Would you care to elaborate?
I was praying for a swift end.
Henry,
Yes, Professor.
you watered it, correct?
I did. It looked dry.
Henry, it's a hybrid pufferpod crossed with a fanged geranium. It lives off humidity and blood magic residue. Watering it triggers its defense mechanism.
So you're saying I activated it?
I know you didn't mean any harm, but yes, giving it sugar and attempting to touch it likely overstimulated its instincts.
In fairness, he's done worse. Ask Professor Sharp about the time he enchanted a cauldron to sing opera.
It had excellent range and terrible taste in arias.
Right. Okay. Here's what's going to happen. This greenhouse has not recovered from what you've done. There are vines nesting in the floor grates. 2 of my soil sprites refuse to come out of the compost bin, and I now have a pufferpod that flinches whenever someone sneezes.
You should put it in Henry's room. They'd bond over the trauma.
That is enough, Mr. Gaunt. Now, you are all assigned to greenhouse maintenance duty every morning before breakfast for the next 2 weeks.
What? Manual labor?
With hand tools. No magic.
But I have delicate wrists, Professor.
Then you'll learn wrist strength the old-fashioned way, with a trowel.
I require magic to see, Professor.
Of course, Ominous. That's permitted.
What? That's not fair. He's making it up.
Making it up. You know what? Fine. Yes, Sebastian, I conspired to be born blind just to spite your gardening privileges.
You always have something clever to say. You knew exactly where that plant was, didn't you? Did you make it sneeze?
Now, how in the world would I have made it sneeze?
You tell me. It was going good until you decided to sabotage it.
Oh, believe me, you don't need anyone's help making your plans fall apart. Or shall I say, explode.
Enough! I have had enough! You will all report to Greenhouse Sublevel 2 tomorrow morning at dawn. You will repot, de-weed and scrub every single trough and planting bench by hand. No magic. Outside of Ominous for sight and only sight. No shortcuts and no loopholes. Are we clear?
Yes, Professor Garlic.
Wonderful. You'll work under supervision until every corner of this greenhouse gleams. That includes the mooncalf footprints on the walls.
The walls? But Marshmallow doesn't climb.
He was wearing enchanted boots.
For why?
For science.
For detention, Mistress Allo.
It's 6:04 a.m. I'm wearing a burlap apron. Ominous smells like dirt and resentment. Sebastian keeps singing sea shanties, and Poppy's bottle feeding a mooncalf in the herb trough. This is how I die.
Henry, who are you talking to?
Doesn't matter. I don't think he's listening anyway.
We're the champions of soil and doom, shoveling peat with a broken broom.
Sebastian, if you continue, I will bury you in that compost pile, and no jury in the wizarding world would convict me of doing so.
Oh, don't be so grumpy, Ominous. We're bonding, like you said. Look, Marshmallow even made you a dirt flower.
Poppy, that's a moldy carrot.
Still one of the nicest things anyone's ever given you.
Rise and shine, my little greenhouse goblins. Time to atone for your sins in soil.
I haven't even committed a sin yet today.
No, give it an hour.
I swear that vine just waved at me. Was that a greeting or a threat?
Marshmallow says it's just grumpy. It's probably not a murder vine.
Don't be silly. Those are in greenhouse 7. This one is mostly harmless, unless it's offended, which, given yesterday, is likely. First task, repot the adolescent mandrakes gently. And do keep in mind that there's still no magic, please.
What could be louder than yesterday's botanical explosion?
Oh, sweetheart, you've never heard a teenage mandrake in a mood. Now come, look alive, everyone. Now, whenever you're ready, you're going to repot this whole section here. Take your time and be sure not to hurt your ears.
Ow!
Damn it, that hurt.
What's wrong?
Nothing. Mine bit me.
Yes, they tend to do that when they're cranky or hungry.
Just like Ominous.
I'll bite you if you don't stop humming that sea shanty again.
You know, when I heard of Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry, this isn't what I pictured.
What? You mean you never imagined being covered in worm slime and compost stew?
Not really, no. I was hoping for, I don't know, spells, adventure, less dirt in my ears.
You're having the adventure. This is basically farming with teeth.
I'm stitching that on a pillow. Farming with teeth.
All right, you lot. You've done decent work so far. Not good, mind you, but alive.
That's the Hufflepuff motto, isn't it?
It is not. It's,
It's those patient at heart shall be rewarded.
Right. So basically, stay alive and snacks will come.
As much as I've been tempted to let the mandrakes give you a lesson or two, I can see you're starting to learn, and I appreciate the effort.
So, are we done?
For today, tools by the bin, and wash up before you infect the castle with fungus.
My arms feel like they've been through 5 rounds with a troll.
Maybe they have. You smell like one.
You know, for someone who claimed he wanted less dirt in his ears, you didn't do half bad.
You say that like I didn't get sneezed on by a plant. Again.
Maybe it likes you.
Oh, yeah? You think so?
You're quite likable.
Oh. Great. Next, it'll want a name.
What was it again? Sir Sneezesworth?
It was a working title.
Well, I'm glad you were there today. You make everything feel a little less chaotic, even when you're covered in spores.
That's funny. I was thinking the same thing about you, actually. Minus the spores. You're always just solid. Reliable. Kind of like home, if that makes sense.
That's the nicest thing anyone's ever said to me after a plant exploded.
Right, yeah. Hey, maybe, next time we could do something without compost involved.
I'd like that. Maybe something with less sneezing and more pastries.
Right, perfect. No dirt, no danger, just snacks and you.
Oi! One of the plants are moving again! If it's running away from you, it has excellent excellent instincts.
We should probably go check on them, huh?
Probably. Ugh, and I just got the mud out of my left sock.